Hey everybody. I got some stuff in and I wanted to show. Now let me tell you a little story about this stuff. So this stems from kind of a mistake that I justified using to buy this. So I don't know, probably you all use the same thing. So you go to your bank and you use like bill pay or whatever through your bank to send the bills off to your different credit cards and bills and all that stuff. So I do that. And so in this case, Best Buy. Okay, so Best Buy, the electronics and appliance store. We only really use our Best Buy card when it comes to larger purchases, usually. Whether it be Christmas time, whether it be a new computer, whether it be, in this case, a refrigerator. So the reason we do that is because they always give you like the 18 to 24 months, no interest, same as cash. So we did this. A couple years ago, we bought a refrigerator. We paid it off just recently. No interest. I had it set up on bill pay to where every payday, or once a month, or no, every payday, it sends them a certain amount of money. So I divide the money up and say, this is how much I have to pay every month to make sure that by the end of the time for the free credit, there's no interest. So we do that. Now, a couple months ago, it got down to the point where, we were within, I guess, $100. And it was a good payday, so I paid it off. And forgot to stop the bill pay. So next payday rolled around, and lo and behold, I'm like, ugh! Another $100 went to Best Buy. So there's no stopping it. I thought, well, we'll just go and we'll buy something. We'll go back to Best Buy and we'll get something. So I'm looking online at what we could buy, to use the money. And, we haven't really went to the actual store because I don't even think they're open. It's like curbside service with this whole, situation with the virus. So weeks go by, and I still got the credit. I don't know if after a certain amount of time, they may eventually send it back to you. I've had cards do that when I've accidentally done this before. But a couple months have gone by, and I thought, we're never going to go back to make it back to the store anytime soon. I was looking online, and I said, well, let's see what kind of records they got. And I'm looking, and I'm putting stuff in the shopping cart, and then I sit on it for weeks, and I never go. And then, I don't know, I remember some of the things I had in the cart. And so the other day when I got a certain record for my birthday, it made me think, oh, you know what? They had some of their other records at Best Buy. Let's go back and revisit the idea of using this credit to go ahead and get something. So that's what I did. I went on there and just took a look at some of the stuff I had in the cart that I had been toying with buying, and I went ahead and made the purchase and to use that money. Yeah, probably should have used it for something else. Probably irresponsible of me as a record buyer.
Or was it?
Anyway, so the other day, for my birthday, I showed this in a video. I got objection overruled by accept. And this is the music on vinyl. Very nice pressing, very nice. Everything about it was very nice. So I went online to the Best Buy site, and I noticed they had some of the other ones on there, and they were the same price as they were on Amazon. And so I thought I'm going to go ahead and get it. So I got the music on vinyl version of Balls to the Wall. This one I didn't. I have some of the older original pressings of like Restless and Wild and Metal Heart, but I did never pick up one of these. And so, this is a must-have album. So grab that, music on vinyl. Again, these are just top-notch to me. They sound great. They look great. The covers are glossy and shiny and thick. Music on vinyl has just, every one I've ever had has been really good. And then I got the Russian Roulette. So, this would have been the time frame where this was the last Udo album. And then the one that followed up, which, I want to get, was where they switched singers and I think guitar players too. They had brought in David Reese on vocals. He did the one album, so you got this overseas band and they bring in, a California American singer to try to kind of go with that commercial sound. And it was a great album. It just wasn't an accept album in most people's minds. Great album though. Released under any other name, it would have been great. But anyway, I don't have that yet. But I went ahead and grabbed this because they did have that. And then after that Eat the Heat with David Reese came out, the band basically, from what I understand, kind of dissolved. You didn't really hear anything else from them for a while. So in the interim, they released Staying Alive. Double live album, also on music on vinyl. Beautiful, beautiful package. So this is the Udo years, and so they released this kind of as a follow-up to, you know, kind of being gone. But then that's where the other one came in. So then they did come back a couple years later, and Udo was back, and I believe that was, if I've got them in the right order, that's where the Objection Overruled came in. That was followed by Death Row. Still probably one of my favorite albums, but not one that I can easily find on a record. It's you know, it's Amazon doesn't have them anymore. You can buy them from a third party. They didn't have them on Best Buy, you know, so it's not one that I can easily access. But the follow-up to that was Predator, and this was on Best Buy, so I grabbed that. Again, another music on vinyl. Again, it sounds great. I love this album. It's kind of a split. It's got Udo on here, but then I guess one of the other guys, is it Peter or somebody? One of the other guys does some of the singing, so it's got some different sounding vocals at times. When this first came out, I didn't know the whole story. I thought they'd switch singers, but then you're like, well, no, there's Udo, but he's only singing part-time. Could he only make it in the studio part-time? I don't know. Didn't know the whole story. Still don't know the total whole story, but anyway, so this would have been the final, get some glare off of there. This would have been the final, pretty much the final Accept album. Aside from more live stuff and reissues and stuff, before they finally came back again with the new singer in the more recent years. Anyway, so I thought this was a good idea, a good score to go ahead and beef up the Accept catalog with these music on vinyl, music on vinyl releases, because like I said, they're really pretty. Now, mentioning David Reese and the Accept album that he did. He also did, after that, right after that actually, I guess 92-ish, and this came in the mail today. Thank you, Scott Waters. He put it out. This is his No Life to Metal reissue of Bangalore Choir. Again, David Reese on vocals, and this would have been right after, I guess, he left Accept. Anyway, it's just a great album. Now, there's two versions out, and I saved a little bucks and went for the black edition, so there is a red edition. Just one of those bands that's slightly out of time. I mean, you know, they have the look, the sleaze rock band, that kind of metal from the late 80s, early 90s. Great album, but, you know, it didn't do a whole lot. They did two more albums, so this would have been in the 90s, and then I guess, I don't know the whole story, but in 2010, you know, they came out with another album, and then more recently. So it's kind of like, hey, every 10 years or so, let's put out a new album. So they've got three total, and I've only heard this one the most. Anyway, so yes, this has been, you know, mastered for vinyl by Rob Caldwell. It's, you know, put out through Scott's label, No Life to Metal. Just came in the mail today. I spun it already. I've listened to it, you know, digitally for a while online, and I have digital tracks, but was great to get this. It's just a good, solid, one of those hard rockin' albums of the late 90s, early 90s, and it's just great stuff. So that's all I wanted to show you today. I'm glad to accept some Accept into my collection. Glad to have that. I do still need to go back and get that David Reese Accept album and a couple other ones. I think I need to find Death Row. If you see it out there and it's a good price, you know, I would like to grab it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Later.